Messed Up is brought to you by Eco Maine.
Hi, I'm Madar Chandra, a senior at Scarborough High School, and I play the Indian drums.
Hi, I'm Elliot Youth. I'm a junior at Scarborough High School, and I play the piano.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm a senior at Westbrook High School, and I love to play soccer.
Hi, my name's Patrick. I go to Westbrook High School, and I play baseball.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Messed Up. I'm your host, Sarah Long, and today we have Westbrook and Scarborough. From Westbrook, we have Emily and Patrick, and from Scarborough, we have Elliot and Ardesh. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We are here to challenge you in the categories of math, engineering, science, and technology. We are going to start with the brain battle round and then go into your video question. Also, engineer this, the grid of destiny, and finally, the end game question. Now, the top 8 teams from our first round will go on to the quarterfinals, and then we'll cut that down to the semifinals and then the finals. So remember, you're competing today, but you're also competing against the other teams. So without any further ado, are you guys ready for the brain battle?
Let's do it.
All right. As we head into the brain battle, we have 10 questions. They are worth 5 points each, a total of 50 points up for grabs here. If you answer the question incorrectly, you do not lose any points, but buzz in first and answer correctly, and you will get those 5 points. All right, let's get to it. What are the coordinates of the x-intercept of the line 3x plus 4y equals 12? Red team.
-4, 0.
Incorrect. Blue team.
4-0.
That's correct. DC voltage sources have a positive terminal and a negative terminal. Which of the following statements explains why AC voltage sources do not have positive and negative terminals? A, AC voltage at each terminal is always changing. B, AC current does not involve charged particles. C, AC current is safe and warning labels are not needed. Or D, AC voltage at each terminal is always higher than ground. Blue team.
Is it D?
It is not. Red team.
A.
It is. That's correct.
That was my second guess.
Which of the following statements about cell membranes is not true? A, they are barriers between the inside and outside of the cell. B, they contain proteins which perform a variety of transport functions. C, they are composed of phospholipids. Or D, they allow DNA to move in and out of the cell. Red team.
Is it D?
It is. Correct.
I need to start cooking.
The term used to describe the height or depth of a waveform is called its A, frequency, B, amplitude, C, wavelength, or D, modulation. Red team.
B.
That's correct.
I thought it was A. Good thing I didn't click.
Solve the equation on your screen. Blue team.
1/2.
Incorrect. Red
Lots of
team.
math in your head.
5, 6.
Incorrect.
Right.
The correct answer is 1/3.
It's okay.
I read
Oh,
that
jeez.
wrong.
When Benjamin Franklin went to France on a diplomatic mission during the American Revolution, he was already well known in Europe as a politician, a writer, a romantic, or a physicist. Blue team.
I'm going to take a wild stab at it and say D.
That's correct. Not a romantic, huh?
Why have we stab more stuff?
Yeah, whatever.
The likely effect of an increased amount of ozone in Earth's atmosphere is A, an increase in global temperature, B, a decrease in global temperature, C, an increase in the amount of UV radiation at the surface, or D, a decrease in the amount of UV radiation at the surface. Blue team?
Is it B?
It is not.
Ah,
Red team?
D.
That's correct. You were right.
it is one of those two.
Somebody had it.
It's a 50-50 chance.
Who gave the first public demonstration of radio? A. Marconi, B. Tesla, C. Edison, or D. Kasem? Blue team.
Yeah, as a C.
It's not. Incorrect.
I don't know.
Red team.
B?
That's correct.
Weird.
So sorry. Didn't know.
I should go back to guessing.
Simplify the equation on the screen. Red team.
Negative 5x minus 6.
That's correct.
Okay, wow, that was wow, well done.
And question 10. This is the last question in the brain battle. Sand, shell, plaster, investment, dye, centrifugal are all types of what metal forming process? A. Casting, B. Welding, C. Machining, or D. Stamping? Blue team.
A, casting.
That's correct. And that is the end of the brain battle. We are at 30 points for the red team, 15 for the blue team, and we are heading into our video question. And there are 20 points at stake here just with this video question. So here it is from the Mount Washington Observatory.
Hello, I'm Caleb Mute, Weather Observer and Education Specialist here at the Mount Washington Observatory. Here's your video question. When forecasting the weather, meteorologists must utilize forecast maps at different levels of the atmosphere. One of our big roles up here on the summit of Mount Washington is to take weather observations, which we submit to the National Weather Service. These observations go into the weather forecasting models to help them initialize properly. Our elevation is 6,288 feet above sea level. What pressure level in millibars is our observatory approximately located at? Is it A, 600 millibars, B, 700 millibars, C, 800 millibars, or D, 900 millibars?
Blue team.
Is it D?
It is. You're correct.
Nice job.
20 points to the blue team. We are now at 35 points for the blue team, 30 points for the red team. It can turn around so quick here. And next up, we will be back with the Engineer This challenge.
Hey folks, it's Leo from Eco Maine. Staying safe in the kitchen. I got a question for you. Where is the best place to put your recycling bin at home? If you answered right next to the garbage, you're absolutely right. You want to co-locate the bins or put them together. That way, it's just as easy to recycle something as it is to throw it away. Make it simple for yourself.
Welcome back, everybody. We are heading into the Engineer This challenge. The blue team just ahead at 35 points and the red team at 30 points. Now we're going to toss it over to Tom Long, an environmental scientist, and he'll let you know what your engineer challenge is. Tom?
Thanks, Sarah. A little light reading here at Elements in Biddeford. Welcome to the Bridge Challenge. Teams will have supplies to build a bridge spanning across 16 inches. The bridge that holds the most weight wins the points. Good luck, teams.
If you guys are all set, you guys can lift up the cloth in just a moment, and you will have 5 minutes to complete the Engineer This challenge. You ready? 3, 2, 1. left.
Literally had exactly.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. How heavier said cat food things? Heavy enough for you to go and try it. About a pound each.
All right, guys, 5 seconds.
Rest in peace, my Nicky.
And time. All right. Okay, so here are your weights. Red team, we're going to start with you if you want to go ahead and try to place as many cans as possible.
What a team player. You gotta go big to win.
So there's
big.
one.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, just if you let go now, then.
So 1 can for the red team. All right. So blue team, go for it.
Okay.
And the red team takes the engineer this challenge. So the red team now at 70 points, blue team at 35, but we are heading into the grid of destiny. A lot of points are up for grabs. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Messed Up. We are heading into our grid of destiny, and the red team now ahead at 70 points, blue team at 35 points. These teams have been jockeying for first place, and we have a lot of points at stake here as we head into the grid of destiny. We've got 4 columns, 1 for math, 1 for engineering, 1 for science, and the last for technology. Each column has 4 questions. They have increasing difficulty and also point value. And the leading team gets to start off with the first pick. You guys ready, red team? All right, what's your pick?
How about math for 10?
Juanita exercised for 1 hour. How many seconds did she exercise? Blue team.
1,200.
Incorrect. Red team.
Like blank
3,600?
Yes, that is correct. And red team, we're back to you.
Science for 10.
Mountains occur mostly where? A, where there is a lot of water erosion. B, where glaciers move boulders into piles. C, where sinkholes cause surrounding land to collapse. Or D, 2 plates collide, causing land to fold or rise. Blue team.
This one's a shout out to Ray Stauble. D.
That is correct.
Oh my god.
No, he always be like, you're like, the plates, the movement, it's the most amazing thing ever. I'm like, Mr. Stauble.
All right, blue team. In honor of your teacher, you get the next choice.
Bigger, go home, Patrick.
Technology 25, please.
Military veteran Norman Woodland was focused on how Morse code was used to send information electronically when creating UPC barcodes. He started to draw dots and dashes similar to the shapes used in Morse code in what medium? A, sand, B, pudding, C, wet concrete, or D, snow? Blue team.
Sand?
That's correct. And blue team, your choice again.
Let's go math 25.
Okay. What expression is equal to x squared y over z to the 4th? Blue team.
I'm gonna say C.
That's incorrect. Red team.
D?
That's correct. Red team, we're back to you.
Engineering 10.
What is the only metal that's not a solid at room temperature? Blue team.
Mercury.
That is correct.
What the heck?
And blue team, your choice.
That one's for Stephanie McDonald. Can we do technology for 20, please?
The bandwidth of a Cat5e cable can be as high as A, 250 megahertz, B, 16 megahertz, C, 100 megahertz, or D, 600. Blue team.
What's 600 megahertz?
Incorrect. And red team.
A.
That's incorrect. The correct answer is C, 100.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're back to red team.
Hands are sweaty.
Tech for 10.
In which decade did the first transatlantic radio broadcast occur? A, the 1850s, B, the 1870s, C, the 1860s, or D, the 1900s? Blue team.
I'm going to say 1870s.
Incorrect.
Still sounds like a fun year.
And red team.
D.
That's correct. So red team, your choice again.
Technology for 15.
Okay. Radio receivers that can tune simultaneously from AM to FM without pressing a switch to change bands are called A, AM stereo radios, B, digital tuners, C, multiband receivers, or D, smart radios. Red team.
C.
That's correct. Red team, your choice.
Math for 20.
In Sacramento, the temperature at noon was 35 degrees Celsius. What was the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit? Red team.
95 degrees.
That's correct.
So yeah, that's a really hot day.
And red team, your choice.
Math 15.
Colleen solved the 2 parentheses 2x plus 5 end parentheses equals 8 using the following steps. 1, 4x plus 10 equals 8. 2, 4x equals negative 2. 3, x equals negative 1/2. To get from steps 2 to step 3, what did Colleen have to do? Red team?
Divide both sides by 4.
Yes, that is correct. Red team, your choice.
Science for 15.
Which of the following produces identical nuclei in cells? A, pollination, B, mitosis, C, osmosis, or D, fertilization? Blue team.
Mitosis.
That's correct.
Jen will let me be proud.
And blue team, we're back to you.
Science for 20.
Yeah.
Science for 20. A surfer paddles out from shore in search of the perfect wave. The surfer has a weight of 500 newtons and the surfboard weighs 100 newtons. When the surfer is on a surfboard floating in calm water, what is the buoyant force pushing up on the board? A, 100 newtons, B, 400, C, 500, or D, 600? Red team.
D.
That's correct, 600 newtons.
Finish science 25.
All right. Skeletal structures are common between 2 animals of different species. These structures probably exist because both species, A, have a common food source, B, live in the same environment, C, have survived until the present time, or D, are related to a common ancestor. Red team.
D.
That's correct. Red team, your choice again.
Engineering 15.
Where would you find a plimsoll line? On A, airplane, B, horse buggy, C, ship, or D, hot air balloon? Blue team.
C, ship.
That's correct. Blue team, your choice.
Might as well go engineering for 20, please.
What is the largest power generating facility ever built in the world? A, the Grand Coulee, B, the Taipu, C, the Guri, or D, Three Gorges Dam? Red team.
D.
That's correct.
That's what I was going to guess.
And last one, 25 points for engineering. What famous artist developed a wave theory of light before it was developed by physicists? A, Van Gogh, B, Rembrandt, C, Leonardo da Vinci, or D, Michelangelo?
I'm going to guess.
Blue team.
I'm going to say C, Da Vinci.
And you would be right. All right. And that is it for the Grid of Destiny. The red team now at 230 points and the blue team at 135. And we still have our end game question to go, the subject of which is science. So as we head to commercial, I'm going to take the wagers from both teams and we'll be back right after this.
Hey everybody, it's Leo from Eco Maine, back at you again. I got another question, true or false? One of these plastic water bottles can get stretched so thin it can be turned into a thread. What do you think? Hey folks, we're back. So, if you guessed true, you are absolutely correct. These water bottles are made of a special type of plastic that gets very stretchy. You can pull it so thin, in fact, that you can take that thread and turn it into, well, a fleece jacket, a piece of carpet, or maybe the t-shirt that I'm wearing. Pretty cool.
Welcome back to Messed Up. Here we are at our end game question between Westbrook and Scarborough. Good job to both of you guys today. The red team is at 230 points, the blue team at 135 points. So as we head into our end game question, I have wagers from both teams. They know that the subject is science. Are you guys ready? You'll have 3 minutes to solve this question. A race car accelerates uniformly from 18.5 meters per second to 46.1 meters per second in 2.47 seconds. Determine the acceleration of the car and the distance traveled.
Yeah, okay. Plus 18. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to do that. No, I can do other things.
Okay, so let's start with the blue team. Blue team, what's your answer?
We got 27.6 meters per second and 11.3907 meters.
That is incorrect.
Give
And
it a
you
rest.
guys wagered it all. Go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, all right. So over to the red team.
11 meters per second squared and 79.781 meters.
And that is correct. And you guys wagered 30 points, and that leaves you at 260. Red team is the winner for today. Take a deep breath, guys. Blue team, thank you so much for coming in and competing. Again, go big or go home, right?
Go big or go home.
Yeah, we'll be back here next week with another round of Messed Up. So be sure to join us and check us out online at messedup.tv. Thanks for joining us.
Messed Up is brought to you by Eco Maine.